Assalamualaikum and a very good morning to our respectful lecturer, Dr. Mah Bung Yi, and my fellow classmates. My name is Muhammad Afina bin Badrul Hisham, and I will be talking about effect of social media on teenagers. In a new era of modernization, human tends to communicate more through social media rather than being seen physically. But have we always asked ourselves, what is social media? When did it started? And what do teenagers gain from involving themselves with social media? Well, we are about to know of it. According to a 2014 research conducted by yourself, Safda, and Sabir, social media is the most recent form of media having many features and characteristics. It has many facilities on the same channel, such as communicating, testing, image sharing, audio and video sharing, fast publishing, linking with all over the world, and direct connecting. It's also the cheapest and fastest ways to access the world. So it's very important for all ages of people. In the late of 1970s, the first social media was born called Bulletin Board System, BBS. I'm sure many of you have never heard of it, and so do I. BBS was the first kind of website that allowed users to log on and connect with each other. It remained famous until the end of 1990s. Then comes other type of social media such as Relay Chat, IRC, and 6 Degrees. As the world goes through technology advancement in the year of 2006, Facebook makes its steps into the game. By the years, it has become the #1 and most used social media platform in the internet. There are other forms of social media that is still used on this day, such as Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, WhatsApp, and a new one called TikTok. But more on that on another topic, because our main topic for today is effect of social media on teenagers. It is no secret that teenagers love social media, whether it's sharing of photos on Instagram or performing clever dance like I did just now on TikTok. Social media gives teens a sense of identity and belonging, in fact. In fact, social media has become an essential part of everyday life for teenagers between the age of 13 and 17. According to a recent study conducted by Pew Research Center, approximately 93% of teenagers report using social media every day. Additionally, 45% of said that they were on internet almost constantly. Although these statistics may set an alarm bell for many parents, high social media rate doesn't have a bad effect on them. In fact, social media is often a place of collaborative learning, meaningful connection, and support system for those who otherwise experience exclusion. With the proper instruction and supervision, teenagers can use social media as a valuable tool without jeopardizing their safety and health. BBC News in their 2013 research conducted has discussed that 67% of Facebook users, very common and well-known social media portal, comprise of youth and teenagers. So this complements the fact that youth and students have more focus on relations such as negative use of social media occurs when students involve themselves with an unethical activities on social media, such as sharing of useless information and posting of such images that are injurious to national dignity and foreign relationship of country. As we all know, almost all of teenagers growing up nowadays have a smartphone with them, and as a necessity in their daily life. Some may even start using it since they were a kid. During the pandemic of COVID-19, physical contact is prohibited. Many schools, college, and university are closed and changed to a different platform in terms of learning and education. Many teenagers use their gadget as a main device to learn from their teachers. Other than school usage, teenagers also tend to involve themselves with social media as a daily routine. They have many different applications such as I mentioned just now. A society is saying that the social media give a bad effect on teenagers. But is it true? Or is there any good effect to it? Thank you.
Greetings to Dr. Mabuni and my fellow classmates. My name is Nur Afika Izati, and for my informative speech, I decided to choose the topic of online learning opportunities and its challenges. So to start, I am going to recap on our past year. Schools and universities' activities were closed almost immediately following the first MCO order, and I believe everyone was enjoying the 2-week break. But before we know it, it has been a year of movement control order. Do you know, in 2017, a monsoon season ravaged the east coast of Peninsula Malaysia, forcing Terengganu to close 27 schools in its state due to a heavy flood. In 2019, more than 2,400 schools and universities are forced to close due to a high air pollutant index from the haze situation. These are among the few cases in which students cannot continue studying in the classroom. So what makes this COVID-19 situation any different from any other time that the government has ordered for institutions to close? Our education system usually held extra classes to make up for what was missing during any events when the institutions were closed. So students never really had a problem dealing with these similar issues. However, there is no absolute date to when this pandemic will end. So eventually, everyone needs to force themselves to adapt and to this situation, hence the rising of online learning classes. For this topic, I have studied 3 articles discussing the opportunities and challenges throughout conducting online classes, and I have gained many eye-opening finds. Professor Gilly Selman, through his publication of E-Moderating, the Key to Teaching and Learning Online, refers to online learning students as the 4th generation of electronic learning environment, which means we incorporate the physical and the digital, the online and the offline, and the wireless. Nowadays, there's a lot of low-cost wireless devices that contributes to the opportunities and challenges for educational institutions. So I have found that the most discussed opportunity from online learning is the chance to redesign or update learning programs that was often overlooked when traditional methods were done. And next, online learning provides opportunities to more non-traditional students, such as older students or returning students, or those students with disabilities. Consequently, online learning opens an opportunity for more enrollments in the institute due to its flexibility in timing and in some cases a discount in fee, which is of course very beneficial to us. And do you know Google, a multi-billion company, just recently started a program named Google Career Certificates, which is way cheaper and done online. However, the challenges that occurs to online learning includes the different technology adaptation between the educators and students that could disrupt the learning process. In addition to that, online learning often produces tangible outputs that are not as good as traditional learning. And last but not least, online learning lacks the physical interaction between educators and students, such as us right now, and students that affects tremendously onto the understanding process throughout conducting the class session. I am very interested and very eager to elaborate more on this issue in our future class. So as for now, that's all from me. Thank you.